Hi, it's Ivan. We're back. How to cut a fade. We are on video number 6, and I want to lay out here the concept and the principle behind how we're going to strike or execute our fade on our client. Now, in video number 2, we talked about the consultation. We talked about what do you want your top length to look like, what do you want your side length to look like, and where do you want the faded transition to happen, from nothing to something and something to nothing. In order to walk you through the concept of what we're going to do, instead of using this head, we're going to use this head. I know you think that looks like a wiffle ball, and it is, but for our purposes, this is a human head. All right? We're going to get going. But in the meantime, like the video, comment on the video, share the video with a friend in the business who can benefit, turn on your notifications, subscribe to the channel, and never miss a video. All right, heads are round. No, they're not. Heads are not round. Heads are curved. And clipper blades, well, clipper blades are straight. And this is where folks are challenged with fade cutting. Typically, they fade up from below. They come up and they create lines, and then they work to take those lines out in an up from below motion. Now, you remember on our previous video where we cut the top first with a guard to eliminate contributing weight from the interior, we did talk about working with the 4 and then working with the 3, working our way down. So there are some folks who cut down from above. They use that 4, they use that 3, and instead of going up from below and struggling, they go down from above, and they still struggle a bit. It's still a lot of work. Back in the day, I had created a fade technique called the 4-minute fade. You want to venture a guess as to why we called it the 4-minute fade? Well, that's right. It only took 4 minutes to cut. It only really takes 4 minutes to knock out a fade. A couple extra minutes for detailing and the minutes we use to cut the top. That's it. And we see people struggling for an incredible amount of time to fade up a haircut. And they just don't need to work that long, and they just don't need to work that hard. Here's the idea. Instead of working up from below or down from above, we're going to work sideways. If this is the head and this is my blade, sideways. When I touch the blade to the head, how much of the blade is touching the head? Very little. Just a few teeth in the middle. What's happening immediately north of the contact point? The head is curving away and the hair is getting longer. Same thing happens south of the contact point. The head curves away and the blade stays straight. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move the contact point to the bottom corner of the blade. Where the blade touches the head, 2 or 3 teeth, pretty short. We're going to go around the head sideways. Instead of working up or down, we're going to go sideways. And we're going to get a beautiful faded transition almost automatically. When I put the clipper to the head, the only portion of the clipper blade that will be in contact with the head is the amount of the blade currently hidden underneath my fingertip. All of the rest of the blade, up and back, is going to be suspended off of the head. We don't want a real radical pitch because we don't want to flare. We want to taper. Heads are curved, blades are straight. Very little contact, moving sideways around the head. In the next video, you'll see me do it. It's called striking your fade zone. I don't say the fade line because we're not putting a line in and we're not taking a line out. We're going to strike our fade zone. And the key here is this. The tool we use to strike the fade zone is the tool we use below the faded area. So from video 2 in the consultation, if he had said, I want a 4 guard on top and a 0 on the bottom, I would strike my fade zone with my 0. If he wanted a 1 down here, I'd strike my fade zone with my 1. If he wanted this trimmer length down here, I'd strike my fade zone with my trimmer. If he wanted a 2 down here, well, then it's not a fade. We'd be doing a different haircut altogether. But if it's a 0, and 0 fades are very common, close your lever, 0 position, strike your fade zone with a 0, and then we will simply be matching a 0 to a 0. There won't be any digging and picking and flicking and scratching and scraping. We won't be fighting to take a line out because we never put a line in. And you're going to see it all happen in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to share all of this with you. How to cut a fade? That's what we're talking about. Have a great day.